tonight. The Community Foundation of Greater Muscatine has awarded the 2025 Shirley Jean Drake Great Initiative Award to a local recovery leader. Freda is the founder of Cedar River Haven with her husband back in 2022. It's Iowa's first certified rural recovery community for women. Now, for Freda's honor, she was given a $1,500 grant, which she donated back to Cedar River Haven, and we are so honored to have Freda Sojka join us right here on The Current. Freda, thank you so much for being here with us today. Let's start off with Cedar River Haven. What is this recovery program and what do you guys do?
Well, we're a 24-bed unit women's facility down, and we're actually not even in Letts. We're out on the Cedar River, so we're out in the middle of nowhere. We have 53 beautiful acres there. We built a 10,000 square foot house for the women to live in. So we do 12-step immersion. The girls live here anywhere from 6 months to a year.
Wow. And I gotta ask, what inspired you and your husband to open this center up 3 years ago?
Well, that'd be a good question for him, but I don't know if you're familiar, but we have the product Bug Soother, the natural repellent. That was my creation. We sold that company, and this had been a dream of mine for about 35 years, is to start a place for women to come, because I've been in the prisons and worked with a lot of women. Today, 42 years ago today, I went to treatment myself for alcoholism. Today, so when you first set this up, I didn't realize it was on my anniversary, but I thought, how cool is that?
Oh my gosh.
But
Well,
it's
first of
something
all,
I created.
congratulations.
Thank you. The trouble with being 42 years sober, I'm 42 years older, so. But there's something that we believe that God does things for a reason. So the Doug Souther story is pretty wild, how it happened. And when we had the opportunity to sell that, we were able to buy this church camp. We converted it into a beautiful resort, and that provides employment for the women.
Wow. So what do the women do when they come, whether they're staying for 6 months or up to a year? What do they have available to them?
Well, they can take classes, they can do job training, they work on the ranch when it's in season. Uh, they get their DEDs, they get driver's license, they live together, they cook together, they grow together, they go to meetings. It's a family,
Hmm.
but with the family, there's a little bickering. It goes on too. It's a lot of women. That's been kind of challenging, but it's kind of a tough field to get into too, because there's a lot of heartache with it. One of our gals that have went through our programs, they found her dead a couple of weeks ago and from an overdose, and that still breaks my heart. But the next piece we're getting is we're going to get another recovery house in Muscatine, and I think of her, if she had had an opportunity to go to that house, could it have saved her life?
Hmm.
Because it's a big stretch when they leave here, because they usually typically have a hard time getting a place to live. They're kind of cut off from people.
Yeah. And I have to ask, you've been open for 3 years now. Have you seen the need for
Mm.
your services increase over that time?
Oh, yeah. And it's more complicated than what I had thought. There's a lot of mental illness. There's a lot of additional issues besides just the drug addict and alcoholic. But there's a terrible need for it, right? There's not a lot of places for women because they're so complicated. It's tougher to deal with women. I've got a good friend that's opened several male ones, and I said, "Why don't you do women?" And she kind of laughed at me and she said, "You're going to find out, because they're emotional, but they can create a bond stronger, I think, than the males do. Once they get on the right side, they get together and they would do anything for each other."
Hmm.
So it's
And
an
I,
amazing process. And I got to put my sister in here too, because I forget her. I wanted to say, I got the award, but there's this army of people involved in this. I'm the face of it. And Denise Ball's my sister, and she's program director. My daughter, Nikki Salick, runs the ranch. Jim does whatever we need him to do. He hauls women, he fixes things. And then there's a mountain of volunteers that help us too, and consultants.
oh, I love it. Well, Freda, you guys are doing incredible work. I'm sure these 3 years have flown by, and we can't wait to see what happens over the next 3 years and beyond. Thank you so much for your time today, and congratulations on your award.
Thank you. Thank you.
And for you guys at home, if you want to share this story or get in contact with Cedar River Haven, you can find our online version underneath the As Seen on TV tab of WQAD.com.